Shifting focus back to Karnataka's Kodagu, where we're looking at serious surge in positivity rate. Until last week, the Kodagu recorded 27% as the positivity rate. But now, over the last week, since the strict lockdown has been implemented, it seems like numbers have dropped. Here too is a classic example that a lockdown somehow seems to be working. In fact, people are allowed only to come out to buy essentials, and that too only 3 days, Monday, Wednesday and Friday. The daily case count has also dropped from 600 now to 300. In fact, the KSRTC bus stand has also been converted into open market areas for essentials so that people don't have to gather in dedicated market, which are smaller in size. This huge KSRTC bus stand is now turned around into a place where you can buy your groceries from, and that only 3 days a week. Apart from that, the Kodagu district has blocked all travel into the district. 4 days of strict lockdown to ensure that the surge is contained. Citizens, on the other hand, we've seen have stepped up. Film stars like Harshika Punnacha, Bhuvan have now come forward very earnestly, have been distributing food kits for people across the state of Kodagu, which is one of the worst hit districts in Karnataka today. Harshika, what's your aim? You're out here risking your own life and ensuring health.
When someone's hungry, you feed them. When they're full, if you give them, it's of no use. So I think this is the right time. This is the need of the hour. Now I think people need to come out and help. We are doing it in our best way, like with our savings. I think there are a lot of people who are very, very rich and who can definitely come out there and help people. And I think we are doing from our side, we are doing it in a very small way. There are a lot of people.
And you're toiling. You've been moving district to district, Bhuvan.
Yeah, we started off in Bangalore. From Bangalore, we went to Tumkur, Mangalore, Hoskote. We're doing Chamrajnagara now, Mysore, Coorg. Offerings everybody are giving. The most important thing what we are doing is we're reaching people's homes. People are not coming out, staggering in one place and, creating a ruckus. No, we have vehicles all over these districts. The teams, once we get a call, we are noting down the calls, getting the right information, going to their houses and giving it.
Excellent.
And most importantly, I think people are facing a deficit of medicines. People are in the remote areas of Karnataka. Doctors are prescribing medicines for COVID, but they're not getting it. So what we're doing is we have a kit of medicines which have been prescribed by the doctors. It has these azithromycins, paracetamols, ivermectin, and vitamin C, zinc, and protein supplements and all that. We take it and give it to them in such a way that, even if they're in the remotest parts of Karnataka, we can...
Kudos to you. A quick word to all the film stars. Now's the time to step out, yeah?
Yes,
Use
that's
your
right.
influence.
Yes.
What do you say?
All I want to say is, like I told you before, this is the need of the hour. People need you now, so please come out and help the people.
Well, district areas in Karnataka have been seeing a surge because since cities like Bengaluru was maxed out, the infrastructure, and the scare was that the infection was spreading at such a fast pace, many people from Bengaluru moved out to the district areas, including that of Kodagu, and then you have also Dakshina Kannada, where Nolan Pinto brings us this report, which was really lucky in the first wave. Somehow it managed to escape. But Dakshina Kannada is seeing a surge this time. The second COVID wave has been harsh, but people have come forward, set an example, helping people in need. It's really heartwarming to see these sights. Let's take a look.
Dakshina Kannada district is one of the worst affected areas of Karnataka. And Mangaluru, its headquarters, is facing the brunt of the pandemic. As COVID tightens its grip on the city, Mangaloreans have come out in full force to help authorities to fight the virus. At the Lady Hill Higher Primary School, teachers are being vaccinated in an initiative taken up by citizens.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸೆಷನ್ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಆಯೋಜಿಸೋದಾಗಿದೆ. 18 to 44 ಈ ಏಜ್ ಮಿಡಲಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಏಜ್ ಇದ್ದವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅವರು ಬಂದಾಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅನೆಕ್ಷರ್ 3 ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಅನೆಕ್ಷರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
The state government has reset its vaccination plan for 18 plus to June 1 onwards. But at the Kasturba Medical College, private players have started vaccinating the age group by directly buying doses from Serum Institute. Every day they are vaccinating approximately 3,000 people.
The idea is basically we want everybody to complete the entire process from registration to the completion of the jab. and the waiting period within 35 minutes. Say, for example, 5 minutes is something which we are looking at from parking to the jab, and after that 30 minutes mandatory period of waiting which is required by as per the norms. So 35 is the minute is the target that we are looking at, and we have started this facility right now with 8 booths, and we have opened now 6 booths, and after that we are going to ramp it up to a capacity of around 2,500 to 3,000 DAP per day.
The poor who have been most battered by the lockdown are being helped by NGOs. At this government lady Goshen hospital, we found citizens providing food to a large number of people.
जो लॉकडाउन चालू हुआ तभी से हम लोग जो मैंगलोर सिटी का अंदर दोपहर को रात को कम से कम 3,000 से 3,500 जन को जो दोपहर का और रात का खाना देते हैं, वैसे ही शाम का टाइम में 600 से 700 जन को जो नाश्ता दे रहे हैं.
Youngsters are also pitching in. These 2 Class 12 students have launched a COVID-19 website that aggregates useful information.
We realized there was no proper COVID-19 website for Mangalore. There are a few databases out there, but our main goal was to create a database with as many resources we could find and make it as user-friendly, easily accessible and interactive for our users, especially the elders.
The feedback so far has been excellent, and we have also received a lot of helpful suggestions which we are working on implementing.
So in the coastal part of Karnataka, it's all about collaboration. People coming out to help others in these desperate times, from trying to vaccinate a majority of the population to helping those who do not have food. Clearly, as of today, humanity has triumphed in this district. With video journalist Madhuwar, Nolan Pinto for India Today.
Now, we do know that this is quite a nerve-wracking duty that the police has to carry out every day when they're on the front lines. It's not easy for them to let go of the health of their own family members, risk them and yet come out and work on a daily basis. It's easy for us to pick a bone with the police time and again for forcing us to stay indoors, but it's about time that we stop and give them some credit. In Karnataka, 48 police officers have lost their lives owing to COVID just in the last month. In fact, we're looking at 48 officers in the second wave and about 110 officers in the first wave who've lost their lives. Now, this is quite tragic. It's come as a big blow to the police department in Karnataka, who've always prioritized people first. Unfortunately, instead of following the rules, what we often spot is that people arguing with the police in close proximity, putting themselves and the police officers in danger. Karnataka DGIG Praveen Sood expresses grief, says his force is not deterred. So how are you watching out for them, their families, and they're really putting their life at risk to protect people? What is the department doing for them?
Well, as I said, in the first wave itself, we ensured that sanitizers, PP kits, and gloves and all the precautions are taken, and we supplied it from the department. But I'll tell you one thing, it's easier said than done. Imagine a cop standing at the Maharashtra-Karnataka border at 45 degree, 46 degree with a PPE kit and all. It's not easy. We may say so. So practically it's not easy. So the point is, despite all the precautions, some of them will catch this infection. And we have to ensure that they are well prepared to take care of that infection. True. But now one thing I'll tell you.
Monetary benefits, a quick word.
Yeah. The other thing I want to mention before I come to, of course, every death has been compensated. I mean, we can't compensate life, but after Honorable Prime Minister announced some ex gratia, our Honorable Chief Minister also announced 30 lakh to every family of the deceased, and we have ensured that each of them got 30 lakh rupees ex gratia within 72 hours, in addition to a job to the next kith and kin in the family and all usual benefits. But one thing I want to say, it's not merely sufficient to ensure that policemen are protected. The morale of the force also goes down when one of their family members is affected. Sure. So as Chief of Karnataka Police, I am not only concerned about my 90,000 policemen, I feel I am responsible to 4 lakh family of these people also. So in all, about 4 to 5 lakh people. Now, when the vaccination has been opened for public, we have ensured that the family members are motivated, and today we don't have to motivate them. All of them are self-motivated to go for vaccination.